Sunday morning. So I'm on my way to church. Got my seatbelt on today, at least. Me doing that all the time. Hey, I realized also, especially in these last couple videos, that there are certain times where my voice is really low, and I don't know. I mean, I guess I talk in the moment, but I do want people to be able to hear and understand the words that I'm saying. So I'm gonna make a conscious effort to make sure I always project my voice, despite the moment or the feeling at the moment, and try to speak at a level that the entire video is audible. Shout out to Spring Break Watches. It's probably upside down, but shout out Black Owned Watch Company out of North Carolina. So I'm always gonna rep for North Carolina. I spent a good part of my life there, I know I've spent the majority of my time in Macon, Georgia, but I think I spent 14 years in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. So North Carolina is my home, just as much as Georgia's my home. But Georgia's my birthplace. But I always rep for anything North Carolina, I still cheer for UNC in basketball. I wouldn't say I'm necessarily a Panthers fan. I don't think I was ever a Panthers fan, other than the fact that we had a football team. So, you know what I'm saying? Definitely I was about to say something about Cam Newton, but I think it definitely was a fan during Cam's time there. But just more so supporting anything North Carolina. Chris Paul, anybody, y'all know how that conversation go every year. I'm team CP3 every year. I don't care what team. That's the team that I like. Whatever team he played for. But yeah, shout out to North Carolina and Spring Break Watches, man. Y'all support your own. But anyway, I'm on my way to church, and I just thought I'd turn this camera on and send some peace and love. Yeah, I was just trying to get all those things out the way. But it's something that's been on my mind, it hasn't been on my mind. It now is on my mind because I'm gaining understanding in a particular area based on a post I saw this morning. I saw a very, very beautiful post, and man, it really touched me in a way. It immediately brought tears to my eyes because it was a beautiful thing to wake up to. And for me, in this place I am currently in life, on this journey that I'm on, I'm learning new things daily, and I'm having these experiences that kind of bring clarity to things for me. And of course, I've always got a choice of whether or not I'm going to move with the knowledge and insight that I'm gaining right now. But for the most part, I have been choosing to follow what I'm learning. You know, as I learn it, to try to move into it. There are some things that I struggle with more than others to make adjustments on, but overall, you know, that is my goal, to continue to make these adjustments to, you know, in order for me to be a better person, a better me, my best self. So on this journey, it's been like, it's really been a process. Like I can, for me, it's I had my faith and my belief system up until the age of 18. You know, I was strictly a Christian. You know, and I wasn't really open to hearing any other ideologies or theories or anything. But my stepfather was Buddhist, so I was introduced to Buddhism, and I mean, just in my personal experience, as heavy as my family was Christian, I couldn't find fault in the Buddhism. I mean, at least what I saw, you know. I mean, like from my shoes, because I feel like I was always just maybe too honest. But that's even another thing that's developing, or that has developed in me now, that's shaking some things up in my life. But I always felt like the opinion of Christians was that no other religion was good, you know. And I'm not trying to get off into religions. I'm getting to a point, so I don't want Christians to start getting offended. I'm not about to put Christians down, you know. And I'm not speaking on what I am right now or what my faith is now. I'm speaking on up to the age of 18, before I started questioning things, you know. Well, I started questioning things around 13, 14. There were some things that just weren't making sense, you know, but I didn't have no other choice but to go with it, because I'm a Christian. So I got to roll with it. That's what the group is saying to do, so we just got to do it, you know. But certain things weren't lining up. And so I began this process of searching and seeking to find the truth. And that's the thing. It's like, it's always been a quest for truth, because something wasn't right. I felt like if God was as great as the Christians tell me he is, then why would there be so much confusion? And that began like a quest. And I feel like my first taste of something different was at the age of 18, when I moved. How old was I? 84. I moved to Macon in 2003. Yeah, I was 18. Okay. So I had not turned 19 yet. So I moved to Macon at 18, or back to Macon, Georgia at 18, and I immediately was, same week that I moved, I was introduced to my mentor, a producer by the name of Eddie Goldfingers Berkeley. Like, that was like my first experience with a major producer, a major songwriter, with plaques, you know what I mean? And so, but he had some ideologies that were new to me, and they made me fearful, because he spoke it so confidently, and like he almost laughed at my belief, you know, my Christian faith, you know. Like, I felt like he made mockery of my belief. And, but he kind of began to, you know what I'm saying, wake some stuff up in me and you know, raise some questions that I felt like deep down, man, these are some things that I question, you know. And like, how is he finding answers outside of Christianity? Something going on here, you know. Christianity is supposed to have every answer that I needed. And man, I know this might sound like I'm finna diss Christianity. I'm really not. Like, I'm really trying to set up this whole idea of, I went on this search for something, and I began to meet people that were bringing me these nuggets of information that were kind of answering or leading me to how to find answers to the questions that I had. Because up until the age of 18, I only looked for answers within the walls of the church, or even with the Bible. I didn't really understand what I could read. You know, I had reading goals, but I didn't know what that stuff was about unless it was one that a preacher had really broke down in a sermon, or if I had a Sunday school class, vacation Bible school class that broke it down for me. I didn't understand it just reading it. Thus, thou, thithers, henceforths. Man, we don't talk like that. So, and then of course everybody started, we got all the versions, you know, to make it easier for us to read and all this kind of stuff like that. And, you know, but then to me, it just seemed like that was just a breakdown of a breakdown of a breakdown of a breakdown. I felt like somewhere we're going to lose something. Somewhere in all these translations, we're going to lose something key. And I felt to myself, even then at 18, I felt like we missing something. There's something we missing from this, because if this was all of it, I think we would see the world become what was supposed to become, you know. And now I'm going somewhere. I'm going somewhere. So stick with me now, because that's what this whole thing has been for me. It's been a process. It's been a long process. From the age of 18, I began this quest to figure out, what am I? Who am I? What am I doing here? You know, why is life so difficult? If I'm a child of God, why is everything so hard? Why am I, you know, feeling like there's no way out? You know what I mean? Why does it feel like more like a burden to live? These are serious questions that I was asking. You know, I remember asking one time, this really just set it off for me. I was sitting with two of my brothers. We had a 3-bedroom apartment. You know, that was wild. You know, 3-bedroom apartment, 3 men, or boys becoming men, and we did some wild stuff. But one day we're in the bathroom. I know that sounds crazy, but we were doing what young, I ain't gonna say young people, but we were doing what we do, you know what I'm saying? We were smoking, and we had smoked out the bathroom, 18 years old, smoking out the bathroom, and we started having deep conversation. Like, one of my bros at the time was already a Muslim. So he already had some different views, but me and my other bro, we were Christians, so a lot of times we would battle him, you know, battle our ideologies, but he always made a lot of great points. But I wasn't able to accept any of the good points, because I'm like, but you're not Christian. So like, I excluded a lot. But though that conversation I asked that night, I asked this question, because I was always taught that, you know, God know everything you're gonna do. He wrote your life before you were born. He know what everything you're gonna do before you do it, and you know, it was all this kind of stuff. So I was like, okay. I said, if that is true, is it our fault when we sin? Now, at that time in my life, that was a heavy question for me. If y'all told me that God wrote my life before I was born, is it my fault when I sin? Because was that not written? And but anyway, these are the types of things I was going through. These are the questions I started asking. And it sent me on this 18-year journey of looking for God, of looking for truth, looking for peace. And at 36 years old, I have finally gotten to a place where out of all of that, everywhere I've been, it brought me back to this. It brought me back to God. And, but it's probably not exactly the way that you may be saying it, or you may know exactly what I'm saying with that. It's not a situation where I'm big up in myself like I'm God above God, you know. It's not that at all, but it was a process that I had to go through that brought me back to God. I left God, you know. I became, in my mind, my own God for a while, you know. And I was in total control of my life. I was in control of me waking up, apparently, and me going to sleep. I was in control of all of that in my mind. Oh, man. I'm thankful I was able to live long enough to figure that out, that was wrong. But the whole thing was a process, and sometimes we're so anxious. You know, I was angry at the church for some years, man. And even though I was still playing keys, piano, organ for churches, like, and I was pissed off at church. I didn't care to listen. I don't care what they talking about. You know what I'm saying? I had these feelings about church because I felt like the church had lied to me. I was mad at God because I felt like he allowed it. But I went through all of that to bring me back to God. And now I live my life the way I do because I feel like I made my way back to him. And now that I've made my way back, he's been doing some things. And man, I gotta cut this video here. And I don't know if it'll be the same if I come back, so we might just do away with this one. But my point was, the video that I watched this morning was something that I prayed for 16 years ago. I prayed for this change to come about. But what I didn't understand in me looking for overnight change and instant reward was that in order for me to get to receive what I prayed for, I had to go through a process. God had to allow me to go through a process so that once I went through the process, I would know without a doubt who he was, and I would know without a doubt who I was, and I would know what my purpose was. And just to sometimes let us know who he is, he shows up and does certain things. So he blessed me with something this morning. He allowed my eyes at 36 years old to see something and witness something that I prayed for 15, 16 years ago. Maybe 14. I want to be accurate because I want everybody to know how serious this is for me. 14, 15 years ago, I prayed for something. And on this morning, I was able to witness what I prayed for. I've actually witnessed it maybe the past 2 weeks, but this morning was the confirmation that what I thought I was witnessing, I was really witnessing. And so that, for me, my quest and my search for God, the process of finding him, I feel has come full circle. Now, that doesn't mean that my mission stops, my journey stops of seeking him or seeking God, the creator, but some things were confirmed for me, and he brought me something through the form of a message from somebody else, a post that I read. He sent a message through a particular person so that I would know for sure that it was what I had asked for. So sometimes we want instant gratification and we want to rush things and we want it when we want it. But we got to understand that certain things happen in God's time, not your time. Even with my spring break watch, I couldn't tell that time. But he did. Woke me up to it. Peace and love, y'all. Have a great day.